God bless you. Thank you for joining with us. I'm Dr. David J. Rogers, and this is Rivers Edge Today. What a treat and privilege we have with us. Today we have John and Jennifer Mitchell. God bless you. Thank you for being a part of our program.
Yes, man, we're glad to be here this morning.
Excellent. If you don't know John and Jennifer, the folks at our Rivers Edge Church know them quite well. And there's some folks that would know the Mitchell family and know them. But today we're going to find out a little bit more about you and how you have been a part of ministry. You grew up in ministry.
That's right, we did. We grew up. Some of the earliest childhood memories I have of ministry, Dad was with the Church of God, back in the 70s. My grandfather was with the Church of God as well for years and years and years, state overseer of Idaho and many states. So the earliest childhood memories I have of church are at Amarillo, Texas. Dad was pastoring a church there for the Church of God, and it was a big cathedral-style church that they had back then, and it was just a lot of fun. I was a young man, probably 10, 12 years old at the time, and I just have some great memories of Amarillo, obviously because it is Texas.
Yes.
We love Texas. But from there, God called Dad out of the Church of God at the time, and he took a huge leap of faith. And he connected with Church on the Rock out of Dallas. And then from there, we moved to a little lower suburb of Texas, or Dallas, called Farmersville. And it was about 2,000 people in the total population at the time. So we moved from Amarillo, Texas, to Farmersville, Texas, and it was a culture shock. But the good news is God knows what he's doing, and every step of the way we stayed in a little RV that somebody let us borrow in the front of the church there in Farmersville, Texas, until we could actually get into a house. And ironically, at Farmersville is where I met Jennifer. One Sunday morning, we were having church, and their family walked in. They were Southern Baptist, and we were Pentecostal. And they had a little house fire that day, so they were just trying to stay close to the house and catch a service, and they happened to walk in. The rest is history. Dad told me several weeks later he looked out and saw her and said, "That's going to be your wife." And these people, we didn't know them. They just walked in on the street. We never met them until that point. But they stuck around, and her parents are heavily involved in our life now as well. And Farmersville was just a ride. Dad always had a heart for young people, and I'm going to let Jennifer share in just a minute, but she basically ran the nursery, Kingdom Kids type thing for years as a young person.
Yeah, I was 16.
16 years old. And it was at Farmersville we did, we renovated an old youth, it was a 150-year-old theater. We turned it into Young Hearts, and we had weekly meetings there with young people in the city. The city got, back then denomination was just a big deal. Everybody was either Baptist, Methodist, or whatever. And once Dad left the Church of God, he was trying to really cross the lines. And I think that's what Church on the Rock was doing at the time. And we opened up this Young Hearts, and we had, every denomination there. And we took some wrath from the city. But it was a very successful operation. From Farmersville, that ministry grew and grew, and then Dad felt like that he was heading to Dallas to help Dr. Lawrence Kennedy with international. I think we all wound up back there. And I think, Dad, that's where we all met
Yeah.
at the time there at Church on the Rock. And for there, he was there for many, many years. And then I remember him coming back from Montgomery one time. And Zach and I were working in the Dallas area. We were very involved with Church on the Rock, the young and marrieds program. Jennifer helped with the kid Mom's Day Out. I'm talking a lot. You want to say something?
I worked in the Kids Day Out department.
Yeah, Kids Day Out. So, a lot of wonderful people we met, in that time frame. But we really, so we were always involved in ministry, but it was never really a role of pastor or whatever you want to call it. We were always there to support and move and clean and whatever needed to be done. You know what I mean? That's just kind of the way we're built. But we served there with Dad for a little while, and then I remember him coming back from Montgomery, and he brought us all into the room, and he says, "I feel like God's calling us to Montgomery, Alabama." And man, we thought he'd lost his mind. We did. But he was convinced.
Yeah.
He was convinced that God told him to come here. And so it took a little time for the rest of us to kind of wrap our head around it. And I think finally, after a while, we all felt the same calling. And at that point, we sold what we had and kind of condensed everything down, and then we just moved out here on a wing and a prayer to Montgomery, Alabama, and it's been a ride. It's been a blessing. I think for our family, it's caused us to grow closer together.
Right.
A lot of the people that we went to church with as young adults, for some reason, if you just don't have that strong family unit, then they start to separate. We've seen a lot of our friends divorce from that era, in Dallas. And we've often said moving out here probably saved our marriage. But it's been a lot of ups and downs. It's like anything with ministry, everybody wants to be on the front lines. But ministry it's tough. I used to tell Dad all the time, why would anybody want to do that? And he said, well, it's a calling, son. It's a calling. And so here we are. We're here in Montgomery, Alabama. Dad passed away about a year ago, and the family and us and our family and your wife, we've just kind of picked up that mail and we've kept the train running.
Amen. Amen. Yes. One of the things that we had spoken earlier, and Jennifer, is about being real and being real versus expectations. We're going to have another segment where we're going to jump into that more. Believe it or not, we've already run to the end of this segment. It just happened so quickly. You know what? God bless you. Thank you for being a part of what we're doing. We'll have another episode next week, and we're going to be visiting again with John and Jennifer Mitchell. God bless you.